I'm going to start in the book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. And it says, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahasham, Rarachakwadash. Peace and blessings to the elect, the listening, learning, the Akim Walk, Wat Yum. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and the elder bishops. Much respect to the mighty Gabar Yum on the highways and hedges, bidding Yasha'al to the marriage, and to the Gabar Yum making videos of edification to wake up the lost sheep. And salutations to the elect scattered abroad that be unto the speckled bird. And shalom to Khan Bath Gash, shalom wa barakatah. So I seen this post and the spirit moved me, to do just a little quick wisdom lesson. And I was just thinking about how, wisdom, having wisdom, directs us in the right path, how to avoid altercations, right? How to convince the gainsayer, so on and so forth. So, using wisdom in our speech, in our interactions, as the title says, And I've seen this post and I read it, and it says, a fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. So that speaks a lot of volumes. And it just goes to show that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's spirit is in all things. Okay. A lot of people want to subscribe to the modern day philosophers. They want to subscribe to the ancient philosophers. But at the end of the day, the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Lord. Okay. It is the Lord that whispers his instructions into our ears when we sleep. That's in the book of Job. So all these so-called, these philosophical and confound sayings that many people subscribe to, it all comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So with that being said, I want to go into the book. I want to stay in Proverbs, Salaki, and go to chapter 29. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 11. And it says, a fool uttereth all his mind, right? So a fool is going to blabber on himself. He's going to tell on himself, right? Perfect example. You got these stupid ass rappers, right? These trap rappers, these drill rappers that talk about how many bodies they caught, okay, so on and so forth, and then they end up arrested, right? Sent to prison for life, okay? These people are, that's what fools do, okay? Continuing, it says, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. So a person who has some sort of common sense, okay, are not going to reveal everything, man, at that moment. There's a time and there's a place. The scripture says, there's a time in the season, man, for everything. So it's not wise to just, blabber out the things you've done, okay, especially if it could get you in the world of trouble. And this is not just pertaining to crimes. This pertains to anything, okay? Sometimes you don't have to tell everything. It's not wise to do that. Let's stay in Proverbs and let's go to chapter 17. Won't make this too long. Just, some quick wisdom in our speech, in our interactions, in our daily lives. This is Proverbs 17, and I'm going to jump down to verse 27. It says, he that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Okay, so a man that have knowledge, right? Isaiah 33:6. That's the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures, man, that keeps us stable in all types of instances, okay? So he that have knowledge spareth his word. So there's going to be some things that he doesn't have to say or she doesn't have to say, okay? And there's other things that, at that moment it should be said. But again, there's a time and there's a season for everything, okay? Verse 28, check this out. It says, even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Okay. So that also goes into, that could also go into how a person looks, man. Sometimes you could just tell, like, oh man, if I tell him something, he's going to blabber it out, man. He seems like the type that's going to tell everybody, right? You're going to have, sometimes you just have that discernment to where if you bring up a topic with somebody, it's going to be an endless back and forth. Okay. So this, the scriptures has that wisdom, man, how to, like I said, avoid certain debates, avoid long going arguments, okay, so on and so forth. Even Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gives us the knowledge to destroy debates, man. Just a couple of scriptures, boom, in the story. Okay. Yep. Let's I want to go to Proverbs 12 and I think it's verse 23. This is Proverbs 12 and verse 23. It says, a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. That goes with that scripture that says that the prudent man is crowned with wisdom, right? And the foolish inherit folly, roughly paraphrasing. So a prudent man, a meek man, a man of wisdom, a man who seeks knowledge and understanding is going to conceal that knowledge. He's going to keep that knowledge, man. Okay, and use it when it's time. But a fool, it says, but the heart, which is the mind of fools, proclaiming foolishness. So you can tell, man, just by how a fool thinks and what he thinks, it gets turned into action. Okay, and he ends up self-sabotaging himself. Okay, that's what the scripture says. It says, I think it's in let me get this real quick. See, a fool is not going to understand knowledge, man. It's actually in Psalms. Let's stay in Psalms. Yeah, let's go to Psalms. Salakia. I was in Proverbs. Psalms 92 and give me 1 second, Israel. Psalms 92. Right here, boom. This is Psalms 92 and verse 6. It says, a brutish man, right? A brutish man is what? A man without knowledge. Okay, a man without wisdom. All right, a woman without knowledge, a woman without wisdom. Psalms 92 and verse 6 says, a brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. So a fool is not going to understand that you have to, spare your words at times, man. You just can't be blabbering, man, and talking. Sometimes you gotta listen, man. Right? That's why it says in Sirach. Let's get this real quick. Let's go to Sirach. I think it's, let me see, Salakia. Then rebuke. Hold on. I know it's in Sirach though. Yep, right here. This is Sirach chapter 11. This is Sirach chapter 11. And it says, is that what I want though? It slipped my mind, Salakia. But let's get back to this. Let's stay in Sirach and go to chapter 20. It just slipped my mind. Lord wanted to come back to me. Sirach 20, verses 5 through 7. It says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. You see that? Running your mouth. Okay. Some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer, and some keepeth silence knowing his time. Exactly. So when it even comes into certain situations, man, when you're having conversations with people, man, if you don't know the answer, if you don't know what you're talking about, then it's okay to just be quiet and listen, man. Okay. It says a wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time. So they're not going to know when to shut up and when to speak. And again, back to Psalms 92 and 6, a brutish person, they don't understand these things. Okay. They might, interrupt you or accuse you, right? Prematurely. That's in Sirach 11 chapter. Sirach 11, let's start at verse 7. It says, to blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke, right? So don't be presumptuous. Verse 8 says, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Going into what? There's a time to talk, man. But there's also a time to listen. That's the balance of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And we walking in wisdom when it comes to interactions with people, when it comes to speaking, we have to also use that balance as well, right? Getting understanding, as we just open up in the book of Proverbs. So, you don't want to be that type, man, that's just, speaking out of your mouth. Let's get this real quick. Let's go back to Proverbs. What is it? Proverbs chapter 18, and I think it's verse 7. Beautiful. Nope. Let's start at verse 6. It says, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Right? You got people saying, "Yo, man, you better watch what you're saying, man. I'm gonna bust you up in your mouth." Okay. The scripture says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, man. So sometimes, there's something might be on your mind. It'd be a good idea, especially if it could lead into a physical altercation. Sometimes you got to keep shit to yourself. Okay. Proverbs 18 and verse 7, and it says, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul, man. Okay. So don't be so contentious. Don't be so hot-headed, man. Let a person talk. Okay. Listen to what he has to say, and then you come back with what you have to say. Don't interrupt the person in the midst of their talk, because, hey, at the end of the day, you have people that are hotheads as well. Some people who don't really like to talk. They like to put hands on people. Okay. So you got to use wisdom, not running your mouth. Like, perfect example, somebody tells you a secret. You're supposed to keep that between you and that person, man. You're not supposed to be running your mouth, right? Because it actually goes in the next verse. It says the words of a talebearer. A talebearer is a person that tells other people's secrets, right? I believe in the scriptures, another word for it is called whisperers, right? We'll grab some of that, Lord willing. Proverbs 18 and 8 says the words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Again, you got, a person would, tell on you, and then that would destroy your whole, what's that word? Image, man. Okay. This is why the scripture says to try the spirits, man. You just can't be opening up to anybody. You just can't be calling a person your friend. The scripture says you have to try them first. Okay. Yeah. Proverbs 20 and verse 19. It says, he that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. You see that? Therefore, meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Keep away from people that are like that. Okay? Keep away from people who expose your secrets, man, and have people laughing at you or have people looking at you some type of way. That's not a friend at all. Okay? So remove yourself from that person. Let's go to Sirach. All right, get that whisperer. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 14. It says, I saw that verse 13, Salakia. It says, honor and shame is in talk. Okay? Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue. For a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. So you're going to have an evil condemnation and a foul shame. When it says to lie not in wait with thy tongue, don't be like, all right, I got something on him now. I can't wait to expose it. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's wicked, man. Especially if that person or people disclose secret things, man. Things that they entrust you to take hold of. Okay? You don't want to do that, man. That's what the scripture says, to separate thyself from thy enemies, man. Okay? Let's stay in Sirach and let's go to chapter 28. I got some precepts written down as well. Sirach 28, and what is this? What is that? Sirach 28 and verse 28. Nope, that's not it. Verse 13, Salakia. This is Sirach 28 and verse 13. It says, curse, okay? Curse the whisperer and doubled tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. Exactly. The scripture says that the Lord hateth those who what soweth discord among brethren. So if you're talking shit about somebody, if you're exposing secrets to somebody else, that can cause a great rift and a great separation within, your inner circle. Okay. What does it say here? It says, many have fallen. This is verse 18. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many has fallen by the tongue. Okay. So the tongue is a very powerful thing, man. It could be used for good. It could also be used for wickedness. But in this case, we live in a world that people don't give a damn about anybody. I mean, the scripture says that love is waxing cold. So of course they're going to, talk shit and expose other people's that's so-called, friends with them, so on and so forth. And this is also going to go into Jacob's troubles, man, when the people tried to expose the prophets, man, to be delivered up and killed. Okay. Yep. Let's get this real quick. This is Sirach 21 and verse 28. It says, a whisperer defileth his own soul, and it is hated wheresoever he dwelleth. Exactly. People, what do they say? Snitches get stitches. People hate people that just, you tell them something, they just, blabber it out, man. Okay. So at the end of the day, we're not supposed to be like the foolish. We're not supposed to be like foolish backbiters and whisperers, okay, and talebearers. Okay, when we speak, we should be speaking with wisdom and integrity, okay? Because we are representations of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We are the body of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. This is Sirach chapter 20, and I'm going to jump down to verse, where is it? Is it 27? Yep, this is Sirach 20 and 27. It says, a wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words, and he that hath understanding will please great men. Okay, so you're honored. You should be promoting yourself through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, of course, with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Which brings honor. Okay. Let's stay in Sirach and let's go to chapter 32. Where is it? Chapter 32. Sirach chapter 32 and verse 9. Nope, I'm going to start at verse. I started verse 7. Okay. It says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. So what? Again, understanding first. Okay. That's in Sirach 11th chapter. Okay. Understanding the matter first and then rebuking. Okay. It says, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words, be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. See that wisdom there? Knowing when to speak and knowing when to shut up. Okay. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words. Okay. So even when you're amongst great people, when you're amongst elders, okay, especially wise elders, man. Perfect example is the elder apostles of the great millstone. You don't want to just run your mouth. You're supposed to listen and learn, and then speak when it's time to speak. Answer when it's time to answer. Okay, this is knowledge. This is wisdom. Because a fool, you know what fools do? Fools act like they know it all, and then they might take bits and pieces of what they learned from a wise man and try to teach it by their own understanding, and it doesn't make any damn sense. That's perfect. That's perfect. I think it's Sirach, the 21st chapter. Let's get that. I used to always like posting this one too. Sirach 21, and I believe it's verse 18. Yep. This is Sirach 21 and 18. It says, as is a house that is destroyed, so is wisdom to a fool. And the knowledge of the unwise is as talk without sense, man. You see that? That also goes to the doctrine. You got these other camps breaking down scriptures incorrectly, okay? Scattering the sheep, not speaking in sincerity, okay? With the wisdom of understanding, man. It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with these churches, man. Christianity, Catholicism, it doesn't make any sense at all, okay? Sometimes, hey, you just gotta kick off the dirt of your feet, man, and just let that fool be a fool, man. All right. I want to stay in Sirach, and I think the same chapter. Where is it? Yep, this is Sirach chapter 21 and verse 7. It says, an eloquent man, okay, is known far and near. So eloquent means what? Speaking. What's that word? Speaking, intelligently, okay? Being able to speak clearly and intelligently so people can comprehend. Sirach 21 and 7 says, an eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth. Do you see that? So a fool, they don't understand. They just blabber. But a wise man, a man of understanding, knows when he's messed up, okay? And he knows when to talk and when to remain silent. So, yeah, man, a fool is known by his speech. You will know how who a fool is by what he says and how he says it. Okay. How he acts and reacts in certain interactions. And you will also know a wise man the same way. How, by his speech, how he reacts and acts in certain interactions, especially when it comes to this word. The scripture says that a priest's lips must keep knowledge. Okay. Knowing when to speak, speaking with wisdom, understanding, and knowing not to speak. If he has the answers, if he has the understanding, hey, that's great. And if he doesn't, he hushes his mouth and he learns, right? The scripture says, learning is an ornament to the ear. Let me get this real quick. Salakia. I know it's in the Apocrypha. Right here, Sirach chapter 21. That same chapter I was in. Sirach chapter 21, verse 20 and 21. It says, learning is unto a wise man as an ornament of gold and like a bracelet upon his right arm. Okay. So, as it also says, I believe in Sirach, the 4th chapter says, for by speech, wisdom shall be known. Okay. So this all goes into, using wisdom in our speech, in our interactions, not only when it comes to preaching the word, but, also in our daily lives, man. So, like I said, something to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I seen the post and I was like, hey, why not? So I pray that you were edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Shalom.